Hi, welcome to part 2 of our tutorial on underpainting. We're going to establish shading on this form. So first I'd like to talk a little bit about basics. Do a quick sketch, very quick sketch here. The first thing to do is determine where the light's coming from. Think of it as a single source of light, probably the sun. That's where that's gonna determine where the shadow is. Let's draw a box here real quick. Little perspective box. Here's a box. And if the sun's coming from here, that'll determine where the shading is. Well, obviously the sun is hitting this top, so it is hot. It has got a highlight. This is the side furthest from the sun, so it gets the most shading. The front gets some light, but not all of it, so it gets a lighter shade. So you see, we take this lovely simple box, and by applying some principles of shading, we get more of a three-dimensional issue. Granted, a little cattywampus, but you get the point. Do a circle here. Is that a circle or is that a sphere? It's a circle now, but using the same source, and we're going to do a very light shading, showing where that hot highlight is. And I'm cross-hatching a little bit and making it even darker on the underside. We start to turn our circle into a ball. And that's what we do with shading. A little bit of a cast shadow if you want. That's okay, we're not too good, but it does help kind of establish shading. Okay, now that that's done, let's get to the project at hand, which is undershading this picture. So since the light, should have got rid of that pencil. Since the light is coming from here, the shading is all going to be on this side of the face. Under the sockets, a little bit under the the bust line. I'm going to do it very simple. Whatever's opposite the sun, that's what gets shaded. It's something like the underline of the side of the bust line here. You start to pick up folds of the dress, that sort of thing there. You can see I'm just showing with a pencil. Okay, let's get to the paint. Said I like this Dr. Martens Payne's Gray. That grunt was when I was opening it. Put it right here in the center. It looks black, I know, on the screen, which is fine. Now, these are watercolors and watercolor inks, so they require a lot of water. You've guessed it. Very good. Yes. So we're using a lot of water. So what I'm going to do over here off screen, I wonder if there's a way to get this on screen. That'll have to do. Whoa. Never mind. We'll just put that there. Next tutorial, a smaller receptacle. Okay. A lot of water. Kind of dabbing some paint a little bit. And you can see more water. Kind of using this as a palette itself, so I don't want very much. Okay, I'm going to go ahead. I'm using the third smallest of the brushes, and I'm just going to go and dibble dabble on this side of the face. Now, I'm also going to use water, blender. Don't worry, it looks kind of blobby right now. That's all right. We'll get there. We start big and light, and then we'll go smaller and more detailed. Now, since it's still wet, I'm going to keep using this till it dries up on me. So this little undershirt here, or this chemise, go under the bust line a little bit, and see how I'm just kind of dibble dabbling. Water, water, water. Is there such as too much water? No. Well, if your picture gets wet, yeah, that's too much water. By and large, more water means less work. This is underneath, so I'm going to go here. Look how easy this is. It ain't rocket science. It's just a technique. You don't have to be Michelangelo. There's brother Phil Angelo to do this. And see how I'm dibble dabbling? A little dark there, but the water will help blend it in. Look, she's halfway done. Oh my God. Okay, let's go down. Bigger brush. Actually, I'm going to use the biggest brush. What? Yeah. Do not open that door, Carter. Too late, door's open. But I'm also going to use the next smaller brush and put just water on it. All right, you see we have these folds here. Use that big brush. And then just kind of use the water. See, using the water to push it out. That's what we're doing. Look at that. Oh my gosh. This is better than even I hoped. Better than the first time I got messed up. Water, water. You don't want them too dark. You want to get them darker. See, I'm taking a little bit. Fold. Now that we start. Need water there. And down here, I'm doing these big swatches, swooshes. You can make noises like whoosh. As a professor of mine used to do. But when you're doing narrow ones, let's use the kind of medium to get that cincher or that fitted way. Ooh, let's see, that's real dark. We have this extra. Just kind of, when you do close up, it's good to just do little short strokes, like thus and thus. We'll push a little water. I got a little dark on the face. The faces are tough, especially for the first time. I haven't practiced because of the pandemic. There we go. Push it back. This is the first layer of our shading. And I'll put a little there so you can see well begun is half done. Now what we're going to do is we're going to come in the next instance with a smaller brush, with the smaller round brush, and we're going to do cut shadows, which are the hardest shadows under the lip of the the derby, along the sharp edges here. Add a little detail. You know what? That's a little, right there, that's a little bit of a harsh line. There we go. Soften up just a little bit. Okay, there, sorry. And so forth. So that'll be in part 3. So thus endeth part 2.